Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. I hope y'all are doing well. We're starting a little bit earlier today because there's a bug on the ceiling right there. I just noticed. I'm gonna have to take care of that. But thank you so much for joining me. Started a little bit early. That's bothering me now. I don't know how I got in here. Anyway, starting a little bit early. If you saw the video that I just recently posted, that is the reason. That's the reason why I'm starting early. The digital video walls were supposed to be delivered at Good Shepherd yesterday. They weren't. They're supposed to be delivered today. No one's at the church, so I'm waiting for a phone call. That's why originally I wasn't going to do this live stream until 5 p.m., but I decided to just it's no point me sitting here and wasting my time just sitting here all day. So if I abruptly have to end because I get a phone call, that would be the reason why, and we'll continue this later. But anyway, folks, hello. I hope y'all are all doing well. Go through and holler at some folks. Brian, hello. Levinus, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hello. Reverend Leroy, hello. Chef Levi, hello. Parker, hello. Keith, hello. Monty, hello. Stephen, hello. John, hello. Gary Jones Jr., hello. Streets of Destiny, hello. Edward Nickerson, hello. Mr. Clarence, hello. T, hello. T, actually, I'm going to be doing some work with T at their church in Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you for that contract. We're going to be up there for a week. We're still ordering equipment and all this other good stuff right now, but I will be up there in Boston, Massachusetts for a week. All that information is coming soon. Also, next week, Monday through Wednesday, I will be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll be back there for that. We're going to be out there with Terrence doing another training with their team. I think there was a couple of issues going to help them figure out. I think they're upgrading some stuff, new equipment, and having a few issues. So they're sending me back out there. The training is on Tuesday. I fly out. I don't know why I keep picking all these early flights, but I'm leaving Monday at 5 a.m. I'll be there around like 9:30, and then I don't leave until Wednesday, again early at 6, and I'll be back here in Richmond around like 11:30. Then I am off Thursday and Friday, so no live stream Friday, depending on what's going on. This type of live stream is not going to be next Friday because it's graduation, so that's where I was talking about receiving this honorary doctorate, which I'm very thankful for. That's what's going to go on. I have no idea if this is going to be streamed, recorded, or anything, so possibly I may be taking my portable stuff and live streaming it myself if need be. But that's what's going on. So again, no live stream on Friday like this, no Q&A. Something may come up if I'm able to, but again, I'm not going to hold my breath on that. We'll be back at Good Shepherd on the 22nd. The 23rd, I'll be in Roanoke Rapids to do a quick install down in New Generation. Switching out some stuff. They wanted to go with PTZ. It's going to remount and move a TV and then put some speakers, change the sound system, all that stuff. I can only do that in a day because my daughter's going to be with me the whole week. So I got to take her to school, get down there, do as much as I can, come back, possibly might continue for 2 days, hopefully not. Then we're going to be back at Good Shepherd the 24th and the 25th, hopefully to finish up this whole screen stuff. And I am keep tapping my phone to see if I see anything. Normally I mute my phone, but I have my phone wide open right now. So again, be on the lookout if I have to all of a sudden get off here. If I can't get to your question, folks, you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. And I've been guilty of this, so I already responded to this. Yes, I do consultations. You can hit me up at ajhomes.com/consultations. Just realize Dee has been, again, thank you so much, Dee. She's my admin that keeps my appointments and everything straight and everything like that. My books are locked for all of this month. We got a lot of projects going on, so if you want to set up some time with me, we're going to have to specifically hand set something up for you because most of my time is locked for the rest of this month. So we're looking at next month possibly to do any type of things going on. But that's what's going on. Also, big shout out to the Facebook group. If you're not a part of that, you're missing out. There's a whole bunch of folks, media ministries from all over the world. I think we're hitting at close to 3,000 now. Media ministries from all over the world where we're working together to try and help out and all this other good stuff. So I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and fire away at first questions here. So I'm going to need some more detail on this. OBS NDI plugin failed to show on my desktop. What does that mean? All right, it won't show on your desktop. If you're doing the NDI plugin, it will be installed in OBS and you'll see it as a option. So I think my computer does not have, I think I took that off on mine. So we might be able to go through the whole process here. So let's see. Let me get this all straight. Take that down. Let's go over to the super source. So like right here, we're looking at my PTZ right there. And if I go here, as you can see, I don't have NDI installed at all. So let's go ahead and close this. Close this. And we're going to open up a browser. Now, I do have the NDI tools installed. So if I go here and come over here to NDI, you know, I never verified if I can hear y'all could hear me fine. Hold on. I hit refresh on here by mistake. Let me unmute this for a second. Close this. And we're going to open up a browser. All right, I can hear myself fine. Please let me know if the sound is not right. But if I go back here, NDI is installed. So I have NDI 5. I have all this stuff there. It doesn't install anything on your desktop. But let's go to OBS NDI plugin. And here we go. And let's see for the latest version, last updated March 9th, 2023. So we would go here to the downloads. And again, I don't have this, so we're going through the whole process. Let me actually put the link in the comments. OBS NDI plugin. Let's see. That's for Linux, OBS, blah, blah, blah. Where's the download? Right here. Go ahead and download that. Let's install that. And I don't know why my camera is showing so dark. Hold on. Let me turn up my gain real quick. Keeps adjusting it down. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish the install here. Boom, we're done. So if after that's been installed, as you can see, it doesn't add nothing to your desktop at all. So again, I'm not understanding exactly the question that you were saying, but we'll go through the whole rest of the process. So now let's open back up NDI. Now I do have the BZB gear behind me is NDI. Let's actually get rid of these. Used to be, yeah, there it goes, clear. So I don't want those. All right, so if we turn this off and turn off this so it's not looping over, see, as you can see, now we have an NDI source. That means it was successfully installed. We go here, and I didn't realize I already had an NDI source in here. And what is that set to? That's to the old AV cans that I sold to Good Shepherd. There is the other one, the BZB gear behind me. And there you go. That's the auto tracking one as well too. So that's it. So there, I don't understand exactly of saying that NDI wasn't installed on the desktop. It wouldn't. You should have folders installed because you need that the API and everything running in the background for that to work. That plugin does install the OBS. It still needs some other stuff, the run times and everything to run it. But that was it. So we went through the whole process, good to go. And if I go here to my desktop, and I keep need to slide over. Come on, close. Close. As you can see, nothing is on my desktop. So not exactly sure about that, but that is the whole process. The link that I sent in the chat is exactly the same thing I had. So hopefully that does help you. And just in case, like I said, yes, I do offer consultations. It is right here. Let's see. Reverend Leroy. Last week, when I talked about the M50 shutting down, you suggested a Panasonic V770. Any reason you didn't suggest a PTZ in the same price range? Which would be a better choice for a one-man studio? The reason I didn't suggest it is the Panasonic is around like $500. The AV cans you can get for AV cans 20X PTZ, you can get as low as around like $450. The issue with that is unless you're going to be controlling it with the software or the remote, you need a joystick. That joystick is going to add at minimum another $300 to $500 on top of that. So a PTZ is going to be around $1,000 compared to that $500. That's the reason. Now, it all depends. Like me, I'm still getting ready to prepare. I'm this close. I was this close. But I decided to be an adult and pay my car note instead. I was this close to buying another ATEM Mini Extreme ISO because they're on sale. If you did not know about that, John posted about that in the Facebook group. But all of the ISO models are 20% off, so you can get them now for $1,035. I paid the full price for mine. That's what I'm using right now. I wanted to get another one, and I say all that to prepare for this graduation that I'm going to be doing for the third year in a row. That's going back into Reverend Leroy's question. For me, a one-person studio, it all depends. So if the 1,000 is not an issue, then yeah, go with the PTZ. You're fine. You can do presets and then just press one button like I do at the beginning when my PTZ is looking at the on air, then it cuts over to me. You could do that. I don't like telling exactly what could be done. You talk about a camera. So if it was my suggestion and everything was inside and the $1,000 is not an issue, then yeah, go for the PTZ and you can set yourself up for the future. For me, why I talk about the ISO in this graduation, these PTZs would not work because it's too bright outside. So that's why I would not use them. Now, this graduation I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be a part of, it's going to be inside. I would use PTZs for that because it's not going to be so bright and I could control it that way. It all depends. If you're going to do everything inside your studio and everything was within reach, again, like this Pocket Cinema camera right now, I'm using that. I'm not doing any crazy zooms and stuff like that. Its lens is locked to this position. That's why I don't slide back. I don't move forward. I'm exactly where it needs to be. That works for me. And I don't have to adjust this. So that's why. That's just my suggestion. So anybody else, if y'all thoughts about that, what do y'all think? And that's it. Let's go to our next one. Hey, T, I am doing fine. Bruce, hello. Rhonda, hello. Mark, hello from South Hill, Virginia. What can be done to brighten the video to YouTube? Looks fine on Zoom. And hold on, I just got an email. What is that? Sorry. Okay. That was a Amazon just sending me something. And I'm getting a bunch of, I'm going to actually put some, I'm not going to do that. Be mindful, folks. They got a bunch of just nut jobs out here sending, I just think it's funny. I use FreshBooks for invoicing, and now I'm getting FreshBook invoices from people saying my subscription, my 3-year subscription for McAfee, the worst antivirus on the face of the planet, is $498. I'm like, you idiots. I would never use McAfee. And it's just a whole bunch of con folks. I got an email from McAfee. I got another one from Norton. And it's so, I just wish I can digitally reach in through the email and just choke out the people who are sending this stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all are getting on my nerves. Anyway, I lost track of what I was going to talk about. Your brightness on your video. That's strange though. Now, if actually, now that you mention it, it's probably dark on Zoom as well, but in your Zoom settings, it's probably enhancing the image. There is a setting under Zoom that can do that. So it depends. What are you sending from? What is doing the streaming? How is everything getting to Zoom and to YouTube? Let me know, and then we can talk about what adjustments we can do to do that. Bruce, you get better pricings with earlier flights. Yeah, but I just don't. I mean, it's all fun and games when everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're traveling and this, and this. You go to a bunch of places. Like I have a whole bunch of friends that are just like, man, AJ, you were just in a cruise. And then the very next week, then you went to Las Vegas. Then after that, you went to Atlanta. Now you're getting ready to go to Baton Rouge. Then you're getting ready to go to Boston. I mean, yeah, it sounds all fun, but it's like the early flights. I mean, I'm a morning person. I mean, I go to sleep late. I wake up early. That's out of habit. I always wake up at 5, 6 o'clock, no matter what. Even if I don't get into bed till 3 in the morning, I still wake up at 6. So in all my early classes in college, I always took 6 a.m. classes just so I can be done with class by 11 and noon. I don't have an issue with that. It's just, I don't know. I'm just getting kind of tired. I'm just bouncing around. And yeah, I love traveling and stuff like that, but you know, sorry to be a big softy. I miss my baby girl. I miss seeing my daughter, and I'd love for her to come with me on more stuff. But right now, that's not an option. So I don't know. But yeah, you do get, honestly, I like booking as far out as possible, but the Baton Rouge stuff, that didn't come through until like yesterday. So this is last minute stuff. Jesus Christ Tabernacle WC, good morning. What's the best capture card with audio input? Well, that's all subjective. Are you connecting HDMI or SDI? Personally, I personally still like and still use, well, it's two options. If you want an internal card, I still like the deck links. This is the older one, but the newer ones, the HD ones, can do SDI or HDMI, and they can both do them at the same time. And you can see it's not focusing because it's off on here. Excuse me. I like these. This is $129. Now, if you really want a better capture card, get the A10 Mini. That's the best one. This right now, this is the Pro. This is the Pro ISO. But if you get the Pro, you're going for $295. That's around like almost $170 more than this, and you have more inputs, and you can do audio and that. That's why, unless you have a very, 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 very specific reason why you want an internal capture card, like maybe you're using like the older or even the newer ATEMs that don't have live streaming built into it, so you have to output it to something. Well, actually, even the newer ones output over USB. But yeah, if you want an external device, a capture card, I would use a capture device. I would use the ATEM. But if you need an internal, I would go with the deck links. Yeah, they're a little bit problematic when you first install them, but once you get them done and configured, they're rock solid. That would be my personal opinion. Now, you could go with the Elgatos and all that other stuff. Hopefully, they fix some of their issues with their software, their standalone software that does it. But you're looking at 190, something like that. Let's actually go look at it. Let's see. Capture. So if you go with this one, that's 250. I don't think they're doing the other ones anymore, like the Cam Links or something. Well, actually, they do. Let's see what the Cam Link is going for. That's going for $100, but that only gives you one input. So I mean, it's subjective. I personally, internal, I go with the deck links. That's just me. I've been using them for almost, is it almost 10 years? Almost 10 years. And I've been happy with them once you get them done. So that's just my personal opinion. IC812 says, what's the best way to get sound from aux channel on a Studio Live Series 3 to the camcorder? Is that a PreSonus Studio Live? Let me know, and then we can follow back up. Miriam, have you tried DaVinci Resolve on an iPad? I keep forgetting to. I have my iPad upstairs. It was like my daughter had it last time, and I found it like behind the bed, so it's been drained. So I've been meaning to. I'm probably gonna, you know what? I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna play with it when I go out to Baton Rouge and play around with that. So I would give you a follow up on that and maybe do a review on it as well too. David, I think you're the same David that has a lot of media stuff on Facebook as well too. Hey AJ, how are you doing? Just curious. Any reason why you're in Win and not Mac? Yes, because the Mac is whack. I'm saying no. I mean, it's from a cost standpoint. I mean, I've been building computers ever since like '96, and you couldn't build a Mac unless you did a Hackintosh. And then I did go with a Mac and Windows stuff when I was in college to give it a fair shake. It was very good in video stuff back then. That was in 2000. But for the same cost, when I bought my iMac, I was able to build two Duron 1000 megahertz, 1000 megahertz systems for the same price of that one. And those two systems just beat the brakes off of the Mac. So me personally, there's nothing. Let me take that back. I have not used any program except for one that performs better on the Mac than on my Windows system, and that is After Effects, because Adobe is trash in how to optimize After Effects. So I will run After Effects when I need to render something on the Mac, and that's it. That's the main reason why. And it's just from a cost standpoint. Most of my live streaming systems, like the M1 that I got, was $799. Typically, I can build a base system with the same specs for around like $500, and it gives me the ability to upgrade it and grow. The M1, I just can't. That's the reason why. Philip Paul, hey AJ, I thought I missed it because your live was set later than usual. My local time was at around 5 a.m. Yeah, it was, because I'm waiting on email from the Digital Walls that I'm waiting for to deliver. That was supposed to be here yesterday. That was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and I'm waiting for a notice from the delivery so I can go over to Good Shepherd, and because it's a 1,225 pounds. It's just in a pallet. They just deliver it to the driveway or the parking lot, and it's just sitting there. So I need to go over there and babysit it until somebody can come and open the door, because nobody is there on Fridays. So nobody comes in and steals anything and gets in. So I'm waiting for that. And I opened up my email and I still have nothing yet. So, yeah. So we'll see. That's the reason why I changed the time originally. And since I hadn't heard nothing, that's why I moved back to this regular time. And it's still a lot earlier than I typically would do. O'Neill Martin, hey AJ, good morning. Can you repost video or tell me how to add lower thirds in Extreme using Ease of Worship? By the way, the bundle is working great so far, except for the image on one of the PTZs is darker. Okay, not a problem. I think I still have Easy Worship on this computer. So let's see. Yes, I do. I don't know if it's expired. This is an evaluation, so yay. So for lower thirds, first you need to make sure, all right, sorry, my screen is good. We need to output and put stuff in a configuration. So like right now, here's a theme of a lower third. So I'm gonna put this, I just have the song here in the lower third. So it's gonna output right now. So that's what's going on. So if I cut over, actually, this is what I should have made another macro for. Actually, let's do that right now. Let me turn off this other screen here. Output. I don't need that. See, I don't know why. I don't need that stage display. Come on. Let's fold back, turn that off. There we go. All right, so we're gonna make a macro real quick. I just did a video about that. So let's make a new one. And I want to change this to not Mac. Why does this? Oh, I need to delete this other one. Let's delete that. We're going to make a new one. And this is going to be for monitor presentation output. So all we're going to do, change that to there. That's it. All right, so now that we got that done, we need to output my screen. See, y'all catching me off guard doing all the extra stuff. Primary. Why is my screen now not showing? Pick the wrong monitor. Come on now. Is it 4? I can't remember. Yes. All right, that's 4. So now y'all can see. This is what it will come out to. All right, so yay. Now, if I go here. All right, that's my macro. We're going to switch back to here. And because we're using input number 4, that's what's coming back from Easy Worship. So we're going to go to our downstream key. We have it set to that input. That's screen number 4. Again, screen number 4 is this one. That's what you're seeing right now. So I will set that here, and it's linked to my DSK. So if I switch back to me and I turn on the DSK, there you go. That's how you would do it. And again, you see the watermark because I don't have a license to Easy Worship. This is the evaluation. That's all you got to do. Use the template, the theme. I think that's how they have it called in Easy Worship, which is lower thirds, transparent. I put whatever to that theme. It's outputted all black. I set that output that's coming into the ATEM as my DSK, number 1, number 2, doesn't matter. And then I just turn it on. So again, if I cut back to here, turn on my DSK, that's what you see. So hopefully that helps. All righty. Let's see. Back to Philip Poe. Hey, AJ, if I want to use a pen drive or SD card to record from the ATEM Mini Pro, what minimum speed and storage do you look at? Again, the speed needs to be at least 1,050 megabits per second based off of what Blackmagic is recommending. Let me see, because I don't. Let me actually go to their website and we'll just check it out. We go here to support ATEMs. We're going to look at recommended USB drives. I don't know why. There it goes. So a lot of these pen drives is going to be kind of, it's going to be all dependent on how fast they can read, and it's kind of hard to say that. So like if I use a USB hub, I don't know, with micro SD card reader, something like this. But again, some of these, they won't tell you the speed of how fast they can write. It's kind of subjective, I guess. It says 5 gigabits per second. That's what it's saying. And then you need to have a micro SD card, say 512 gigabytes. And again, it's all on the speed. You will probably want to look for something that can do 4K, and that's 100. And, I mean, technically, I would think this would be fast enough. But I mean, honestly, you're looking at this and that drive. Me personally, again, I stick to stuff that just works, and I've tested it, so it's kind of hard for me to just. It's too many things out there to try and test it as well too. What I do, and a lot of people have used, are just drives like this, not the extreme one. I mean, you can get that extreme one. I mean, I have it here. All the super expensive ones. Yeah, so they've dropped the price here. So this is one I normally would use. I started using the T7s on some of my clients just because these have been hard to get. They've been delayed by a month, for whatever reason. I've used this. This used to have a problem. When I tested it, I didn't have an issue. So if any of y'all who've done stuff with me and I've sent you the Samsung and you've had an issue, please let me know. I've been using that for my camera right here in front of me. I use the same thing inside of my Tesla. I also use, but this is actually a T5 for my HyperDeck for recording. Please let me know if you have an issue. If it is, we'll send it to me and then I will swap it out with a SanDisk. I need to find some locally. That's what I personally would use, and that is what I personally use. I actually have a 2 terabyte for when I'm doing ISO recordings. So SanDisk SSD. So I'll put a link there, and hopefully that helps. Not saying that's the only option. That's just the one that I know has worked fine for me. Hey, KCMI89. Hey, good to see you. Jackie, hello. Reverend Leroy, what antivirus do you suggest? Personally, I don't use one. I use Windows Defender, and then I have my router blocking a lot of stuff, and I am very, very, very skeptical of anything that's being sent to me, links, any of that stuff. So, like, for example, let me show y'all, and let me see if there's a good site I can actually do. I think Social Blade actually does one. You got to be very mindful of how stuff works. So normally you'll see stuff like this. Or actually, let me do this, remove.bg. This is a website you can use to take an image and remove the background. So let me see if I can find something here. And I know this, all right, so this is a great image, right? So typically, and they don't do it. I was gonna say typically you have a whole bunch of stuff that you have to be mindful when you're clicking to download and stuff like that. So let me try another one, PSN profiles. And if y'all really wanna know, I still play some games on occasion. So we just hit 200 platinums on Resident Evil 4 Remake. Just actually finished the PlayStation 4 one yesterday. But anyway, so you see all these ads and stuff like that. You have to really be mindful of stuff like this, to where sometimes you'll say you're trying to download something, and some of these bad actors will put a download button in here, and that's not your real download. I say all that to say, from an antivirus standpoint, I am very, 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 very skeptical when I go to different websites. So I personally don't put antiviruses on my stuff. One, I don't, this is me personally, I don't use McAfee. McAfee is trash. Norton used to be good. I used to use that back in the day, maybe like 15 years ago. No, I don't use that anymore. AVS used to be, hold on, make sure I haven't, yeah, AVG, excuse me. AVG was an antivirus I used to use a long time, which didn't have any issues. But again, it all depends. Like a lot of times when I use these antiviruses, it gives so much of a performance hit to my system. So this is one that's free. I mean, it works fine. It doesn't cost anything. And of course, most of these, they try and upcharge you on all these extra features and stuff like that. But if I was to use one, I would use avg.com. That's what I would use. But I don't. So I use Windows Defender, and I'm just very skeptical of where I go, so that I just need all the performance as best as I can. Miriam, did you go to NAB show? What do you think of the Nikon Z8? No, I did not go to NAB. I went to Las Vegas just to get away. So I have not looked into the Nikon. Is that the one? I've seen a lot of people talking about it. But let's see. For those who don't know, the Nikon Z8, good Lord, that's $4,000, and that's without a lens. I haven't looked into it. Let's see what this thing do. 4.1K, not the 1.1K, and 8.3K at 60 frames per second. Interesting. 8K at 30 frames a second, 4K at 120 frames a second. That's serious. Really cool, I must say. Got a lot of inputs there. That price is kind of just for me. So I really don't have that much of an opinion of it because I just haven't looked into it. And I'm not that big into photography, but I do like the fact of what it can record at, especially at 8K. Man, you're going to need a beast of a machine to edit on that. But I'll look into it, but thank you for letting me know. All right, back to Jesus Christ Tabernacle. They said their connection is HDMI and external capture card for a Sony camcorder. I would go with the ATEM, and then you can connect anything over HDMI to that and your audio going into that if you want to, and then you just have a USB-C going into your computer. That's personally what I would use. But again, if you really wanted to, like I said, you have the Elgato. That could be an external one. So if we go back here, that external one is the HD60X. That's going for $199, so it's about $95 cheaper than going for ATEM Mini Pro. Again, at that price, there's Horizon, good game. I'm just saying, at that price, me personally, that only accepts one input. That's my only issue with that. That you could, for $95 more, you can have another 3 inputs and an output and a recording and live streaming. That's just me. So I will put a link there for that. Let me see. That was the HD60X. Amazon has it for $179. So I will put a link here for that for those who are interested. So I mean, I'm not against it. It'll work good. I started with all the Elgato products, and then when I went to the Deck Link, I was just really happy with that one. So that's what I've been sticking with for quite a while. Ralph here. Thank you for the help from the media booth. I am the only one in my media booth. I am training some of my youth from the youth group to do sound and video because next week I will not be there. Hey, I'm glad it helps. I'm glad it helps. Back to Jesus Christ Tabernacle. What about the Avier Media GC? Hold on, long name. Let's see. The GC551G2 Live Gamer Extreme. Man, I wish these people would think that name. Let's see. That card that they're talking about is this one right here. And for the most part, I mean, it looks like it's the exact same thing as the Elgato. It's just $10 less. I have used some of the Avier Media ones before. I mean, at this point, you can't mess this stuff up but so much. It's just like 4K TVs. They've become so synonymous now. Unless you're like Westinghouse, which Westinghouse is horrible. You can't mess this stuff up. So yeah, I think this would be a good option. or the Elgato, either one. I don't think you'll be steered wrong with either one of them. LC812, back their question was saying that is the PreSonus Live Studio. So the Pathway Christian Church in Atlanta, where I was at, they had a live studio as well too. Let me see. Let me make sure I can get the same model that you had. That was the Live Studio 32 Series 3. Let's see. Trying to get the exact one. So I believe this is the board you're talking about, and you wanted to know what's the best way to get some audio out. Hey, you know what I think is the best way? Come on now. I don't know why it keeps doing that. What I think is the best way is that right there, that RCA tape out. That would be the easiest way to get audio straight out, because that would give you the same thing as your mains. Or you can have your own type of mix and either split it left and right channel on 12 and 11, whichever ones, have them come out. You can do a mix out from 13, 14, 15, 16, whichever ones of those. Any one of those. Me personally, the easiest way, without having to do any major configurations, if you want exactly the main output, you would do that RCA tape out on the back. Or if you want something specific where you can have its own separate mix, pick any of the mixes out, and then there's a configuration. There's no way I can guide you through the configuration of this, because I need that right in front of me. I've done that twice, so I don't recall it off the top of my head. But the mixing is the same thing. Making a separate mix matrix, mix bus, whatever you want to call it, coming out is the same thing. The concepts are the same, but I can't guide you through a menu without me physically doing it. But the easiest way, if you just don't want to have to touch anything right now, get an RCA to 3.5 or whatever type of connection, and you can do it that way. And if you're going directly to OBS, you could use the USB right there at the top, and there should be drivers that you can connect it and you can send audio over USB, I believe. So that would be two of the easiest options right there. So hopefully that helps you. Where did I leave off at? Hello. How are you doing? Still no email. Joy. Cody. Hey, AJ, do you know any software where I can mix the audio, pitch correction, reverb, then get it to OBS? And is it possible to do this on the same computer? Cody, I am not aware of anything like that. I would hand that over to everybody on this, or redirect that question to the Facebook group. I personally am not aware of any software that does that, so I really can't answer that right now. MA16V3, USB thumb drives and SD cards are going to be very hard to find that can sustain the write speeds of an actual USB SSD. It's all in the controller. Thumb drives, SD cards do not have a robust one. Thank you for that. So that's kind of like the reason why I stick with that external one that SanDisk has just been performing great for me. Back to me. What computer specs do I need to install 2 Decklink Quad 2 to capture cameras and send feed to a projector using vMix as the switching method? What type of specs? I would go with a Ryzen 7 or equivalent, a 8-core, 16. Why am I just go blank for a second? Hold on, I missed my words here. I was going to say it's an 8-core. Yeah, 8-core, 16 thread. That's the word. I don't know why I drew a blank there for a second. Well, 8 cores, maybe 16 logical processors or something like that to handle that. Personally, 32 gigs of memory, get a GPU. You can probably go as low as a 1660 that you can get for maybe like $220. That's what I would do, because you need to have the horsepower. Now, granted, those cards have processors on them that can handle a lot of stuff, but you need the processor to be able to also handle all of those feeds and sending that data back and forth through vMix. Add some more memory, 32 gigs minimum for that, and a GPU to offload the processing to. That's what I would do. So maybe a Ryzen 7, a 5700, something like that. Been hearing some issues with the 7000 series, so I will stick with the 5000 for right now. Maybe a Ryzen 7, 5700, 32 gigs in memory, as low as a 1660, GTX 1660. I think you should be good. Back to Jesus Christ Tabernacle. It's me again. We have a basic setup for a Sony Handycam CX405. We're having services on a campground with recording to OBS, no live streaming. Thinking about the Elgato capture card. Yeah, okay. I mean, that would still work. That's where I started with, and I still, that 405, the CX405 is still what I would recommend as a starting camera as well too. So you should be good with that. Travis, hello. Hope the cruise was a blast. Yeah, it was. It was good. We're going to be planning another one in about 2 years. Venom 2238. Very cool channel. I want to ask you about this. Is it easy to program a PTZ controller, and does it depend on what kind of connectivity you're using on a PTZ controller? Yes, they're pretty straightforward. You just move the controller, put it in the position that you want, set the position number that you want up to from 1 all the way up to 250. You put that number in and set it, press the preset button, or press the preset button, then the number, whichever one. And then when you're ready to call up the position, you just press the number. So like, for example, this camera that I have right now, I have a position. I press number 1 on the joystick, cuts over to that position. I press 2, it cuts back over to my position. When I had the shirt up for the cruise, I had it set to right there. So that's my preset. So really straightforward. And I'm just pressing one button right here, if you can see, and it can't get down far enough. So yeah, so I'm just pressing one button here. So if I go back to number 1, that's that position, back to number 2, and we're right back here. Very straightforward. Nothing very difficult at all with using those or programming them. Back to Travis. Our Behringer X32 is connected to our computer via USB for our stream. In OBS, I have a gain filter to raise audio, but it only affects the left channel. Struggling to balance the audio. Any thoughts? It's only coming to the left channel. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up. I'm not even connected to this, so I'm not going to be able to do it. I have my X32 here, and I don't want to turn it on because it might throw off my audio coming into here right now. I'm going to have to get back to you on that one, Travis, or hold on. Let me see if I can unplug this so it doesn't mess up. Hold on. All right, so we got it unplugged, so it should not mess up my audio. And let's cut over to the desktop. And check it out, excuse me. All right, so we're here. So it's strange. So how do you have you configure? So if I go here to my setup, and then I have card. Actually, no, I'm on the wrong place. Routing. And card. So I have my outputs going to the given card. So like inside of here, you'll have your software, and once it's installed, but that's strange though. Why would it only do left and right? Because if you're like, what's your mains? Like right now, my main out is 7 and 8. So when you have the software, which is not detected because I don't have it selected, you can select what channels are coming in. So you can say 1 through 8, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, whatever like that. So whatever, I would look at whatever your computer is looking at, your inputs. And let me see if I can actually hook it up here. All right, so I'm not sure if this cable is long enough. All right, so let me make sure my audio is not messed up. All right, audio still going to y'all. So, all right. So now that I have this connected, so inside of here, if I change this, as you can see, so you have channels 1 through 8, 7 and 8, 5, 6, 3, 4, and 1, 2. All right, so that's what's coming out. My mains is coming out 7 and 8. For the first thing, make sure you actually are sending the left and right to whatever output that you're configured to. That's the first thing. Now, if I open up OBS, I think you have the same type of settings. So if I was doing, I'll do here. And if I go down to my audio, I'll use custom. Actually, I'm not going to use it this way. I'll do a regular input. So I'll do audio input. And we want to select. So right here, what's my input? Again, here's your channels. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or all of them. I would look and see whatever your left and right channel is coming into. If you're doing 1 and 2, are you first sending left and right on both of those channels and then do it that way? Or you could always have it on one, just send the same channel on both. It doesn't have to necessarily be split, but I think that's what you're missing. If you're saying only one channel is coming in, you're missing the left or the right or whichever one. That's the first thing I would check. So hopefully that helps. That was long and drawn out, but hopefully that helps you out there, Travis. Let me disconnect that. Jackie, cable out of the way. My pastor will be starting a podcast soon. Which camera and podcast mic would you recommend for a 3-person podcast? I am partial to the Rode Pod mic. They're $100, perform very, very well. I'm sorry, OBS started showing a meter, and I'm just like, what are y'all caption arting from? That's what I would use for that. Now, if you want to do even less than that, all of my stuff is Rode because I've just been happy with them. I started with that with my when I was doing the shotgun mics and all that other stuff. So if you really wanted to, let's go to some mics over here. You could get some USB ones. I don't know how you have your stuff connected. You could just get this USB mini, and these perform well. This is what I got for my sister. So you can connect those, and those work very, very well. And then they just connect over your computer, and then you can give headphones, and that's it. Uh-oh, we got an email. What was that? Let's see. Nah, that's a shareholder email. I don't need that right now. So you could do something like that. And for a camera, it all depends how your setup is going to be. So that's what you could use. What I use at the setup at Signs and Wonders, we have just these pod mics here that needs a mixer. So we use the Rodecaster. My first one, I donated that to the church. I have the Rodecaster 2. That's what I'm using right now. That at least gives me some more control, that I can balance everybody's mics instead of having it all plugged into a computer. That's all depends. That's what I would use for that setup, because that is what I use for a setup. And then your cameras, you can do simple. Like even that Sony CX405 could work. It all depends also what you're connected to, Jackie, what's going to be handling everything as well. And I was doing a video on how to set up a YouTube podcast and it just didn't come out right. So I'll probably redo that. And if y'all are not leveraging the YouTube podcast stuff, it's very easy. And then also help it set up going into regular podcasts as well. I'll document that. It was just getting out of control. So I'm gonna have to redo that all over again. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see. RC. Good morning, AJ. Having issue with the A10 Mini Pro live stream dropping. After streaming for a while, on air begins to blink and stops sending video. Cache don't usually build up. Yeah, it's something going on, RC. I've had that issue. I'm having that issue as well with my web presenter. I'm looking at it right now because I'm streaming it to Vimeo and it's saying the cache is full. I have no idea why. I'm gonna log into my router, and I was gonna say my router wasn't showing for a second. Let me see. So I don't know if this is gonna make sense to anybody, but like right now, I am not hitting any restraints on anything. I don't have any issues, so I'm not exactly sure why I'm having the caching issue right now. So I don't know. I've had RC. The good thing I can tell you is a bunch of people have had similar issues, and it's just out of the blue. Like I would stream on a web presenter. I used to stream 4K all the time. Nothing has changed. Haven't updated. Nothing. And then now all of a sudden we're having an issue. Don't know. But then I would stop streaming this, and then right now you're seeing the stream coming from my streaming PC, and it's not an issue. So it's not network. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's my router. I don't think it is because you don't have a unified router, my assumption, and then a bunch of other people who've had the same issue. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm getting the same issue as well, too. Like right now, I'm having that same issue. A follow-up is, have 3 cameras and a computer coming into the ATEM, internet speed decent, no packet loss, some delayed. Think someone asked about this a week ago. Yeah, it's still an issue. I have not seen an update from Blackmagic about it as well. What I might do is see if I can roll it back to, but see, that's the thing. I have not updated the web presenter in a minute either. So, I mean, the firmware is at 9.01, and then streaming hasn't been updated since December of last year. So I don't know. I might roll it back to this one and just see, but I don't know, unfortunately. Bruce also suggests we used to tape out into our PC at my previous church. There's also a USB available on the top. So, again, good. Have the same suggestion, and they've used that as well. Mike wants to know, is everybody ready to honor those hardworking moms this Sunday? All righty. You're welcome. Otis, what is going on? Otis, I was this close. My flight to Baton Rouge, I had one with United that was going to take me to Houston and then be there for 3 hours, then take me to Baton Rouge. So I'm going to see. I don't know if Elliot's on here or whoever's in Baton Rouge in that area all Monday. I'm going to be there all day. I ain't got nothing going on. If anything, if I don't have nothing going on, I'm probably just going to stay in the hotel room and just sleep and work on some more of this book so we can get it knocked out this year. Mike wants to know, with BitFocus Companion, you can even make an interface to control your PTZs with presets for a Stream Deck. Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. Back to Edward. Can you put the link in the chat for your PTZ controller? Sure thing. That is actually the standard joystick I've been using now. It's a lot more costlier, but I mean, I've been very happy with it as well. I used to have two of them, but I ended up selling one, and I need to get another one, but I haven't done a lot of unboxings recently, so no need for that. So I just put that there in the chat for you. Back to Travis. No screenshots from the board though, but right and left are coming to the computer. Just the left is getting louder when the gain is applied. 7 and out is the output. Okay, not 100% sure then. I would just confirm that you said it is sending left and right are coming to the computer. Yeah, I don't know. That's strange. I would just go. It wouldn't be a mono setting. Yeah, I don't know, Travis. I'm kind of drawing a blank on that one. Let's see. I think we're caught up so far, folks. We've been going for an hour since we started a little bit early. Yeah, I think that's what we got so far. So I've been let me know. What do y'all think? I finished up a chapter in, let me see. Did it synchronize? The one time I want OneDrive to work. Let's see if it's actually working for me. And of course, no, it didn't do that. Ugh. There's a chapter in the book that I wrote that's coming out. It was talking about the foundation and establishing a mission statement. Yeah, here it is. So want to know what y'all think. If I was thinking about making this as a standalone video, and I was going to do other standalone videos of the book as well too, like a chapter at a time, but this was mainly talking about developing a mission statement. And I've shared this mission statement before, so it's just talking about, well, let me know, first off, do y'all have a mission statement for your ministry? That's what I would like to know. Let me know. Put a Y in the chat if you do have one, and then N if you don't. Because the reason I think is the mindset is this is not going to be like a technical, if I do this in the video, this is going to be just a straight breakdown of the mindset of why you want to have one, the ups and downs, the pros and cons, and a breakdown of why you need to do something like that. So let me know. I'm thinking about doing that as a video, and I'm really just thinking about doing some other type of content because, you know, we talk about all aspects of media ministry. But let's see. RC. Is there a way to take the ATEM USB-C and send program to our outside monitors in the sanctuary? I have not tested it. Somebody made a USB to HDMI adapter that will convert that signal, like a webcam signal, back to an HDMI. It can work. I've used it before where I just send the USB out, which is always programmed, to a simple computer with OBS, and then do a full screen projection and connect that to that laptop. I've done that as well too. So let's see. We got a couple of people that don't have a mission statement. I would highly recommend getting one. So making one. So y'all ready for a little bit of story time? I ain't trying to bore y'all, but I think this is important. Let me give y'all just an excerpt of this. So we're talking about, and I hate when Word always wants to add this stuff that no one is interested in. All right, so I was just saying, when starting a media ministry, it is vital that you establish the standard, not a standard, but the standard. And it's just talking about that a standard, in my mind, means that there is a way out of multiple ways of doing something. This opens up the door to any form of internal and external information that can change the standard to suit the needs of the environment. It is hard to build a foundation when the ground constantly changes. And where I talk about, I'm going to share this. I have the same thing in our Facebook group. This is my media ministry mission statement, which anybody can use. It's copied on our Facebook group. And it just says, for me, the media ministry's role is to capture, communicate, distribute, and present God's word in service of God, the pastor, congregation, sick and shut in, and the community at large. We use to the best of our abilities the technology that is readily available to spread the good news of Jesus Christ in the form of various physical and digital mediums readily available. We strive to enhance the worship experience in a clear, accurate, comprehensible way that is transparent and distraction-free to the people in person, online, or those watching our content at a later time. We also work to equip other ministries in the church to use these mediums as a worship and outreach tool, partnering with them to reach further than they could on their own. Through these mediums, this ministry strives to invite people to learn of God's love and develop a deeper walk with Him. Now, I break all that stuff down in a high level. The reason I say all of that is when I start to go to a church meeting, when I'm asking for money, I'm asking for new mics, I'm asking for new cameras, I'm asking for new equipment. When they say why, I point back to the mission statement. Why do you need new cameras, AJ? Or why do you need new mics or a new sound system? Because our sound is distracting. It's clean. I mean, it's not clean. It's staticky, all this other stuff like that. And that is not helping us communicate clearly to in-house, online, and people in the future. Again, that mission statement binds everything. So when you have some people, because I've been around church long enough, you have people that are just looking to find problems. And if you can point that everything we do is based on this mission statement, it's kind of hard for people to fight, as well as your mission statement needs to be a component of the ministry's or your pastor's overarching mission statement for the church. Again, the media ministry is not meant to compete with the churches, but it needs to be a part of it. So especially if you sat down and have a talk with your pastor and you talk over the mission statement and show how this mission statement helps lift up and support in the part of the foundation to help the church's mission statement, it's really hard to argue with you don't need this or you don't need that when all of it is about helping communicate accurately and clearly in a comprehensible, transparent, and distraction-free way. So that's just my thoughts on that. What are y'all thoughts on that as well? Back to RC. I had one, but I can't find it. I had that in positions all listed out. All right, back to Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, is there a way to make my A10 Mini Pro a static IP address? If I add a TP-Link router that is connected to my setup, can I set? Yes, you can set that up. It's in the ATEM setup tool that does that. So if we come back over here, let me close all of this. Don't need that anymore. Like you come here to the setup tool, it's right there. That's where you would set it at. Right. So while we're doing that, I need to update this because I haven't been here to update it, but I want to give a big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters and YouTube members. So if you like what we're doing here, folks, y'all have heard me say this. I don't say it that often, but this is my ministry. If you support and like what we're doing, if you want to help, you can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. And you can get started for as little as $1 a month, or you can click the join button down below to become a YouTube member. You get access to early videos. I haven't done that many just because most of the time I'll drop it out there. But as a thank you, what we do is give some discounts on our website for consultations, any of that stuff, discounts on some of the merch we also have. Also, you're automatically entered into our giveaways, which reminds me, we are at 56,489 subscribers. Once we get to 60,000, we're doing another giveaway. That is a $2,000 live streaming bundle giveaway. We did that for the 24-hour Q&A, which I am not going to do again anytime soon. But every time we hit a 10,000 subscriber number, we're going to be doing this. This includes, I think it's one PTZ, an A10 Mini Extreme, a controller, a PoE switch, mounts and the cables and stuff. And I think it's a monitor for the multi-view. That's what is included in that. If you want to be a part of that, you'll go to this link right here. I will put that link in the description as well. I think it's already in the description. But that's what you do. You only got to enter once. But if you are a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, I enter you in twice. So you have 2 times the chance of getting picked, stuff like that. Let's see. Mom's video. Yep, we talked about that. I was recommending that. I'm this close to buying another A10 Mini Pro, A10 Mini Extreme ISO. Philip Hall, for a portable setup with the A10 Mini Pro, laptops are running Torch Portal. Is it better to set a static IP address or use it for DHCP? That is your choice. It doesn't really matter. If you're running it on your own router and you know all the devices, I mean, the A10 Mini Pro, the laptops and stuff like that, that doesn't matter. Me personally, I set a static IP address if I was using PTZ cameras so that I don't have to keep searching for them all the time, and my joystick and my cameras are always set up. But if you're just using that stuff, it doesn't really matter, in my personal opinion. But that is your choice. Is there an advantage, disadvantage to making it static? Someone mentioned this before. No, for the equipment you mentioned, no, there's no advantage. I mean, if you need to know directly the IP address that you're going to, yeah. I haven't used Touch Portal, so Mike, is there any advantage to having the static laptops and the ATEM? No, it doesn't matter, in my personal opinion. Getting close to that play button. Yeah, we're working towards it, and I appreciate that. Chad, have you used ProPresenter's actions to change lower thirds to full screen for live streaming, full screen video announcements? I just started doing it in first search. Yes, actually, I have that that runs all of our stuff at Sounds and Wonders that way. When we do certain stuff, like when we do the announcements for, video announcements, welcoming visitors, doing online giving, there is an action that will automatically change that look to full screen. For lyrics and stuff like that, it automatically switches over to a lower third format. So yes, we do. Really cool feature. Also, there was an update. I think somebody shared ProPresenter is doing some type of update, and if you miss out on this update, you're not going to be able to use CCLI, something like that. Let me get it to make sure, because it was announced. I saw it and then missed it. Voice Master, interesting name. Thank you for subscribing. I don't know. I think it might have been the ProPresenter group that I'm a part of. They were talking about, I can't remember where it is, but let me see. Let's go back here. Got another comment here. We're a team of 2 doing media for the church. How do we grow? What do you advise we do? Well, first, it all depends. How I grew our media ministry is I need to find, how do you get anybody to do anything? You need to find out what's important to them. I'll be honest. I'm going to be real transparent with some of the stuff. I get a whole bunch of, and I'm saying this and I mean this seriously, and I know it sounds rude, but I'm just going to be honest. I get a lot of stupid people that send me these emails that want to have me endorse their stuff, and I don't help them at all because, first off, they don't give 2 craps about me. And how do I say that? If you actually want me to promote something for you because you think your product would help, actually research me, because you sending me saying how this underwater basket weaving kit is going to be beneficial to my audience, you're not looking at me. You just grabbed a whole bunch of people's emails and you just mass sending out, and it's spam. It's stupid. So how do I tie that together? You need to find what's important to the person. Like if somebody wants to reach out to me, They research, oh, like phone live streaming, PTZ Optics, the companies who've reached out to me, they're like, oh, we know AJ, the CEO, does stuff with media ministries. Our product can help media ministries. So let's reach out and partner with him to help him with his mission and how our product can help his mission. Not, hey, he has a big subscriber count. Let me try and throw money at him just to get him to advertise this stupid product that has absolutely no interest that I would ever buy or I would never ever promote to anybody else. So I say all that. Yes, that was a little rant. I say, how do you grow your media ministry? If you have young adults there or kids there who are into all this other stuff, first, find out what their interest is. If they're interested in YouTube, if they're interested in video editing, find that interest and show them how this is a test bed in your media ministry. What we do can help build up their skills to do that other stuff of interest. Hey, you want to learn how to perfect and understand how you can engage people and how to do this with live streaming? Hey, we're doing that upstairs. We got all that equipment upstairs that you can do this. Oh, well, I don't want to present scripture and lyrics. Hey, like I got contacted an email from somebody who wants me to help them. Now, this is important. They reached out to me and said, hey, we are not a ministry like you typically work with. That shows that you've actually looked at me and you see what I do. Secondly, we want to know if you have time, could you help us? Because they want to do live streaming of professional darts. Now, how do I tie that together? That goes back to how I formed Formation Sports. We took the same skills of doing stuff in church and took that skill, and we were able to start another company that was live streaming sports for high schools, graduations, and all this other stuff. It shows, hey, the skill set that we're learning here in church of how to do live streaming, presenting graphics, scriptures, lower thirds, is the same thing as presenting the lower thirds to the score of a game, different camera angles in church of the choir, the pulpit, and everything. The same thing of different camera angles of the person who has the ball, the touchdown, the middle of the field, this, somebody dunking, somebody doing this. It's this. We have to show how what we do here in church correlates to the secular world or whatever they're interested in. That's how you grow it. You don't get people to say like, hey, you're not doing anything. We need you to get a part. You need to have people show how what we're doing can answer their need, their desire, whatever. That's how you grow and you get more people to be involved. Just like I said at Antioch, when I was there, I didn't do advertising, recruiting people. I just set myself on fire and invited people to watch. The kids were watching YouTube. I just made videos, and then over time, the kids would come in and say, Mr. AJ his videos keep showing up on my feed. And sooner or later, one of them would click on it. Mr. AJ is on this video. He has like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 views on this video, and all he's talking about is what he did at church last week. Wait a minute. Hey, Mr. AJ, can I come and join the media ministry? And I didn't have to recruit them. I met a need that they were already interested in. I showed them how they can do it. So long drawn out answer, but that's how I've done that. Now, is that 100% accurate? I don't know, but that's what worked for me. Miriam, Rodecaster Pro 2 or 1? Honestly, it depends on you. I like honestly, both of them work fine for me. The Rodecaster 2 has a couple of more features to it, but I mean, if you're not using them all, like I can interchange this one, the Rodecaster. Honestly, I would have stayed with the Rodecaster 1 if the Rodecaster 2 wasn't out, and I just did it just to find out the differences. So, no real issue at all. Mr. Clarence, new Pro Presenter features require 7.11 as a minimum level. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. They made a change to something, and 7.14, I believe, is the one that the CCLI integration with the API is broken. So if you don't have that new feature, the newest version, doing reporting for CCLI does not work. I think that's what that is. So that's about it, folks. I have no idea what is going on with this delivery. So I'm actually going to spend this afternoon now trying to hunt down what's going on with this stuff. So really appreciate all the stuff. We got one last question and then we're going to shut it down. Hey, AJ, have you heard anything about shortcut buttons to select the Bible verses in case the preacher gave a verse? I mean, that's really subjective. I mean, the Stream Deck, first off, are you talking about shortcuts to a given program? Like, I don't know. Stream Deck does have integrations into Pro Presenter, but there's not a direct link to my knowledge of anything that would go directly to a verse. So I need some more context to what you're saying. And let me take this last one from G. Albert. AJ, just checking in to see how you and the fam are doing and to wish you a very, very, very happy Mother's Day to the folks out in the live stream. Well, thank you. We're doing well. We're keeping ourselves busy. And that's about it. So thank you so much, folks. Like I said, next week we will not have a live stream. Thankfully, a lot of my stuff has slowed down. So we will have a roundtable. I've been busy, folks, so sorry. We will have a roundtable this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All the information is in the Facebook group. If you have not joined, just look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. Answer the 3 questions. You are in. All the information for the roundtable is there. We will have one. I don't have anything going on Sunday. Sunday afternoon. I mean, I'm leaving to go to Baton Rouge in the morning, but that's about it. But let me know. I'd love to sit down and chat with y'all. And that is about it. So if no one's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing for media ministry. I say that anyway. Thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. Thank you for all the support. I know that sometimes can be a very thankless job. We put in a whole lot of hours. We spend our own time. We spend our own money. We have to deal with church folks acting like church folks do. And it's not the easiest thing. Believe me, there are times I want to just up and quit and walk away from doing everything that I'm doing because I'm like, what's the point sometimes? But thankfully, I have y'all who say some stuff and send me emails, phone calls, stuff like that, which I really appreciate. So as best as I can, I want to give that same stuff back to y'all. So I do the podcast, and I'm being very, 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 very transparent with a lot of stuff that I talk about because I want y'all to realize that y'all are not alone in how y'all are feeling. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. And hopefully something I say at least makes you realize that, man, there's somebody out there that feels the same way I do, or who's going through the same stuff. So as best as I can, I use this platform not just to educate, but hopefully to uplift and inspire and give you some hope and some encouragement as best as I can. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever y'all are. And we'll be catching y'all on the next video, folks, later.